it out on Jesus' feet. It was extravagant. It was a great gift. Jesus received it. He was going to go get crucified. Judas, of course it was Judas, said, well, that was a waste of money. Was that necessary? And Jesus looks at him and says, it was super necessary. If only you knew the love of this woman. You know, you can give you can propose with a piece of yarn and string, or you can propose with a diamond ring. At some point, we got to start doing the things that aren't necessary. Why is my daughter in Egypt? Why is she going to the orphans there? Why is she going to the hospitals there? Some of the members of the team got fatigued. Some are getting a little bit sick. She's standing strong. She says, Dad, I want to do everything. And then they asked the team, they said, hey, there's a part of Cairo, Egypt called Garbage City. It's the garbage dump where some people live. Who's willing to go there? And she said, I want to go. And someone says, I'm tired. I don't feel good. Is it necessary? Super necessary. You got to go beyond the normal if you're going to be distinguished. Benaniah, he wasn't top 3 draft picks, but he was 4th. He beat out the 30. And that 30, that's a pretty stacked card. Is it necessary what we do? We have to go beyond necessary. Whenever there's a tragedy, it's the Christians that say, I forgive them. The world says, get revenge, get justice. And then a Christian says, but I have the grace to forgive them. And somebody says, that's not necessary. Yes, it is necessary. We have to go beyond. We walk the extra mile. We do more for people. We turn the cheek. We're the ones that go beyond what's asked. We do the daunting things. I hope that we never stop doing the daunting things. When David became king, he said, is there anybody left of Saul's family? Is there anybody left of Jonathan's family? I want to show them kindness. They said, David, that's not necessary. He said, yes, it is necessary. If you love somebody, it becomes necessary to sacrifice. It becomes necessary to do more than the bare minimum. Paul, he writes to the Philippians, and he says, I can do all things through Christ. I can do the daunting thing and live poor. I can live rich. You know, you and I have been so very blessed. The apostles said, gold and silver I don't have, but that which I do have, get up and walk. Will we do remarkable things for the Lord? Look at Proverbs chapter 22, verse 29. It says, observe the diligent person. They will stand before kings. You separate in action. If you do the right thing for long enough, good things are going to happen. Don't grow weary of doing well. Listen, we don't live for this life. We live for heaven. And there's rewards, and He wants to crown us, but we can't just do what we're supposed to do. We have to do a little bit above what we're supposed to do. When I came back, somebody had taken the garbage and they had filled it. I got here early last night thinking, oh, I'm going to have to fill the garbage with all the leftover VBS stuff. And then some saint, thank you, they cleaned up the garbage. And I thought, man, what a blessing. And then I came in here, man, and then the Mitchells were taking care of the jungle. Was it really necessary that we had to make the whole church into a jungle? Yes. Because we love those kids, isn't it? At some point we have to say, you know, we're going to do the very best we can. We're going to take that alabaster vase and we're going to break it and we're going to say, Lord, this is for you. Friend, you won't regret great acts of love unto God. You might regret great acts of God, great acts of love for other people, because other people, well, they make a lot of mistakes. But what we do for the Lord sees forever. Lastly, we have to surpass that last generation. Benaniah took Joab's job. He outlasted the great general Joab. What one generation does will give to the next. I love how Psalm 126 verse 2 says it. It says, what you did for them, oh Lord, won't you do for us? I want my sons and my daughters to have a better ministry than I did. Whatever I was good at, I hope they can just stand on my shoulders and go beyond to the next level. That's why we invested so much in that kids program with the VBS. That's why we invested so much in the youth program with sending them to camp, because we want them to take everything we've given them and go even further with it. Elijah was a great prophet, but when he was taken up, what did the prophet Elisha say? He said, give me a double portion. Did you catch what Jesus said in John 14:12? He said, you will do even greater works than I did. Amen. John the Baptist had a lot of crowds with him. But he said, there's coming one after me, and I'm not even worthy to tie his shoelaces. He's going to do so many greater things. When I was a kid, I got to go watch the great baseball player, Cal Ripken. He was incredible. He played a record amount of games, 2,632 games. For 16 years, he never missed a game. The NBA had a guy like that. His name was A.C. Green. For 15 years in a row, he never missed a regular season game. Load management would have been a cuss word to him. He would have said, no way, I want to play. Put me in, coach. We got to outlast. There's a lot of wicked things in this world, but they'll pass. The things of God, they'll never pass away. Heaven and earth will fade, but my word will never pass away. Joshua and Caleb, they made it into the promised land. Look at the Psalms, though. The wicked are like chaff. They just blow away. They're like the weeds that grow up and die. They're like smoke that soon vanishes. If you wanted to watch that UFC fight, if you wanted to be there, man, you had to be some distinguished warrior. You had to be some distinguished soldier. Or, I did see another option. Because after they would win, they would bring their families in the ring. And there'd be little kids in the ring. You know who else got in? Was the sons and daughters. Friend, God sent His Son Jesus to this world to die on a cross for your sins. So that, Hebrews chapter 2 verse 10, He might lead many sons and daughters with Him. I wonder if Jesus asked the Father that question. Knowing He was going to the cross, I wonder if in the garden He was wrestling, saying, God, not my will be done, but your will be done. But God, is this the only way? Why couldn't He have been beheaded? That would have been swift. Why couldn't He have been thrown off a cliff? Why couldn't He have been stoned? They tried to stone Him. They tried to throw Him off a cliff, but it had to be hanging on a cross, because cursed is he that hangs on the tree. Yeah. I wonder if, after they started beating Him, and ripping out His beard, I wonder if the Son looked to the Father and asked the question I've been asking, is this necessary? I wonder if when they crowned Him with thorns and ripped open His back, I wonder as He hung there, if He looked to heaven and said, is this all necessary? They got to put a crown on me. They got to beat me. You couldn't have made it quick. Look, all the lambs that died, we don't torture them before they get sacrificed. Is it all so necessary that I have to die a bloody mess? Now I wonder if the Father would say, yeah, it's super necessary. Because you look at 1 John and you say, this is the manifestation of God's love, the cross. Had it been a swift death, it would have demonstrated less love. But the more pain, the more agony, the more shame, the more humiliation He suffered demonstrates the greater length of love that God would go for you and I. That's necessary to God, to show you what love looks like. That while you and I were sinners and outcasts and living in darkness and doing the wrong things, He not only loved you a little bit to send His Son. That would be incredible. But His Son was born in a manger. His Son lived a life that we can identify with as a human being. And then His Son suffered the worst fate known, to be crucified. Because God wanted you to know how much He loves you. Today, friend, if you've never received that love, I got great news for you. You can open your heart today and receive that love. Today, friend, if you've received that love, but you're at a low level and you say, Pastor, I got to get to the next level. Let's start doing distinguishing things. Let's start asking God, what are the things I could be doing that would change? Lord, what are you calling me to do? If there are some areas of your life that you need to make some changes, will you make some changes today? Will you make the decision to say, I want to follow you? Let's invite the